Let's go whenever.
Okay. When delusional bodybuilders get humbled by real fighters, Mark fighting.
We all know that professional bodybuilders think that muscle wins fights.
There was a time where I had to grab with him, where I felt like, okay, I can crush this guy.
Even in a street fight,
I'd beat the out of you in the street fight.
But anyone who actually knows combat knows that if you have no training, you're screwed. Technique, skill, experience, and cardio are the things you need in hand-to-hand combat, and bodybuilders have literally none of that. Yet their egos still think that if push came to shove, their years of bicep curls and bench press would be enough to crush a professional fighter. So here are the times when pro fighters humble delusional bodybuilders. It's undoubtedly the most notorious case of a bodybuilder thinking they can take on pro fighters. It's Bradley Martin. For the past few years, the fitness YouTuber has been adamant he could take on the majority of the UFC roster or even boxing world champions simply due to his size.
by the time that you do get to me,
I'm asleep. No.
you may not. Even if you're not asleep, you might just be. I'm just gonna. You're not gonna want to fight anymore.
Damn. That's 150.
But I've been in street fights though, so I know.
Damn. You really believe that?
You know what's crazy is that for Devin's point of view, I understand like if he's away, he could keep his distance. But I feel like if Bradley Martin, the size he is, if he grabs him like he says, I mean, it's kind of I feel like evident that you will have no choice but to get mauled up because at that point it's like wrestling at that point.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind this is back when Devin was on his high horse before the whole Ryan
Garcia. Okay.
This is before he was on top. He was mountain high.
Okay.
So he's like, I knock people out.
Gotcha.
That type of vibe. But I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Because if it's like MMA, if Bradley Martin grabs him, that's it. Devin's not a wrestler or jiu-jitsu, so I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
You would need to know MMA to get out of those situations for sure.
Exactly.
He's obviously super jacked, incredibly strong in the gym, with his now trademark being, yeah, but I'm 260. Whether it's Nate Diaz, Sean O'Malley, Devin Haney, or even the former top 10 UFC heavyweight Brendan Schaub, Martin 100% believes he'd win.
You think you beat me in a street fight?
Huh?
You think you beat me in a street fight?
You in a street fight?
Yeah.
You're a podcaster, brother.
I love it. So the answer is then yes, yeah?
Of course.
I love it. I think I might be able to get you.
Yeah. You won't.
And weirdly enough, he always uses the term street fight, as if a UFC fighter would be out of their element with no rules. He believes that if he grabbed a hold of a smaller fighter, he could pick them up, throw them on the floor, and essentially crush them with his weight.
Demetrius Johnson, who fights at 125 in a street fight, would f you up.
Why
dude.
Demetrius Johnson?
He's tiny, but he's black belt in everything when it comes to hand-to-hand combat.
But you don't.
So on the ground, I know you like. You'll think you'll like pick him up and slam him into the concrete, or I don't know where you're thinking it's gonna go.
I'm gonna crush his head on the floor.
No.
No? Mm-mm. Really?
If you've ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect, it perfectly explains Bradley Martin's situation. This guy...
He said Demetrius Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Didn't Demetrius Johnson like grapple somebody that was like
open
twice
weight class?
like twice his size?
Yeah, that was a rare W from Brendan Schaub for sure.
Brendan Schaub would take a lot of L's, man. It's crazy, like just for him to get that moment. Like, I mean, that is true because I remember seeing Demetrius Johnson face somebody like in jiu-jitsu, probably as big or even bigger than Bradley Martin. So I mean,
he submitted him.
He did, huh?
He submitted him.
For sure.
Guy basically knows nothing about fighting whatsoever, meaning he sits here at the peak of Mount Stupid with his irrational sense of confidence.
And I don't know if you're serious or not.
Again,
you always fuck around. And it goes viral, so good for you. But I have to defend your ass, man, because we're buddies. It's exhausting.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little trolly. The Nate one's a little trolly. Devin Haney in a street fight, I'll beat the out of him though. I really do believe that. 150 pounds. I do believe this one.
He's admitted that part of him is kind of trolling at this point because it sends him viral each time, but you can see a part of him really believes what he says. And his words have angered the MMA community.
Anytime I see him with a fighter and tries to like, oh, how would I?
Nah.
I'm like, stop that. just. He said stop that. No, for me, I'm like, for me personally, some people aren't even man enough to watch the jocks we fight in.
Yeah.
They're not even man enough or worthy enough to step in the ring or in the cage with us because you're about that life.
Yeah.
And when they oh, how would I fare? How would I? I'm like, stop.
It ended up with numerous UFC fighters offering to spar Bradley Martin, with even DJ himself being super keen.
He's 265, he's a bodybuilder, so obviously he's got the weight advantage, but at the end of the day, you know, that's the beautiful thing about grappling. It's not about weight, it's about technique. And we're gonna try to grapple. You know, I told Brendan Schaub that I wanna make it happen. I'm busy doing other things right now, but when I get back from all my vacation, I'm gonna fly down to Calabasas and we're gonna roll, man. I'm gonna roll him up.
But while he strangely never accepted their invitations, thankfully Martin has still been humbled on numerous occasions. The most clear and obvious time was when he grappled with a few different jiu-jitsu experts, and it didn't go well for Bradley.
My head back.
You good?
Yeah, hold on. I got rocked.
Got this one?
Against a high-level jiu-jitsu guy of a similar
I mean, I give Bradley so much credit for even stepping on the mat, you know, and you know, going ones with somebody. But like, bro, I just feel like Bradley knows like there's levels to any skill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Bradley knows that he's gonna get his ass kicked by a lot of these fighters. He does it because, like they were saying right now, you know, it's more of like they go viral. You know, he knows that he can't beat majority of the Devin Haney for sure because he don't know how to grapple or wrestle.
Yeah, but Mighty Mouse is
Mighty Mouse is a beast. So.
Yeah,
that's one of the greats.
Put some respect on it.
Put some respect on Mighty Mouse.
size, Martin couldn't do a thing. Even with all his muscle, strength, and power, he could hardly move his opponent off his base.
Some jiu-jitsu.
He got thrown around, ragdolled, and submitted in any way the BJJ expert wanted. But then Martin rolled with another guy, one who was considerably smaller than him. And while the guy decided to pull guard against Martin, he did fare a little better.
Nice. Get some gas.
Clearly, the jiu-jitsu didn't
Bro,
work.
I'm not even gonna lie. If Bradley actually like perfect a skill, he would actually be pretty decent. I feel like even though like how big he is, he'll probably be fatigued a lot more faster.
All that muscle,
all the mass, yeah. But I feel like if he actually took the time to actually like get better at a certain sport, like a certain combat sport, I think he actually could have skill, dude. Because he kind of wrestles and like he has a structure like a wrestler, really.
I was gonna say that if he knew how to wrestle, he would do a lot better. Obviously, with these jits guys, they're more patient, and Bradley's more like trying to pressure forward, but he just really kind of doesn't know what he's doing. So, but this old clip, he might know more now. But yeah, if he was going against a wrestler, he would have got mopped up already.
For sure, yeah.
He would have. Them being tired would just not have been helpful at all.
Work out as Martin planned. And it was the same story when he had an impromptu wrestling match with a security guard.
What's going on? Who's winning? Not Bradley. Let me tell you. Oh my! Oh, there we go. There you go. Ah, okay. Tap it out. Tap it out. Tap it out. Whoa! Tap it out. Tap it out. Oh!
Bro, I thought that was Anthony Johnson.
I thought it was too. I've seen this clip before. I thought it was Anthony. That's not him.
I don't know. Let's go. Like it looked like him. Like and the way he picked him up and everything looked like Anthony Johnson.
Oh, there we go.
Bro, that looked like Anthony Johnson.
Yeah, I thought it was Anthony Johnson.
That's crazy.
Rest in peace.
Ah, okay.
Tap it out. Tap it out. Tap it out.
Whoa!
Tap it out. Tap it out.
Oh!
Yet again, he
Couldn't even
out-grappled,
tell,
turned around, and almost suplexed. And although there was only their reactions to go off, it sounded like even Logan Paul destroyed Bradley Martin in a wrestling match they had.
That was fucking nothing, man, I'll be honest. Yeah.
I did slam the fuck out of him. Slammed him, dog.
I just popped his head like a speed bag.
Of course, Logan is an athletic guy himself and has a decent amount of college wrestling experience, but he's not a fighter. I think it's safe to say that if Bradley Martin hasn't learned his lesson after these 3 encounters, he never will. And while Bradley Martin is probably the most high-profile case of a bodybuilder being humbled, here's a story that very few people are aware of. It involves a Belgian MMA fighter called Zogu, who despite having an 0-2 record as a pro, was able to smash a cocky bodybuilder he had some
I was about to
Instagram
say,
beef
like,
with. In short,
I was about to say, is this whole video about Bradley Martin? And it was like, it says bodybuilders. I was like, wait, is it they just targeting Bradley Martin? Or
They
is it other
just use,
people?
I feel like they use the concept of like delusional bodybuilders, but I mean, let's be realistic. Like Bradley Martin was a big chunk of that little trend,
that
you know?
section, yeah.
So I mean, but in hindsight, like I felt like there was probably a lot more people like that. I think Bradley Martin was just like the pinnacle of
the face
of
that
of that genre, I guess you could say.
the bodybuilder called Bilal claimed he'd be too strong for any MMA fighter. Strangely enough, the majority of his Instagram posts are mocking martial artists and bragging about how good he is at fighting.
Ooh.
Oh, the edit.
Bro, that edit is insane.
And for whatever reason, the Belgian MMA fighter decided to defend the honor of mixed martial arts, drove...
I thought he just he broke his nose from a fight. His nose just like...
It looked like
it broke.
The last video didn't... I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to it, but it didn't look like that.
Yeah.
The last clip they showed him.
It looked like he just broke his nose.
Probably by that guy.
7 hours into Germany, went to the bodybuilder's backyard with a camera guy and duked it out.
Oh, he was already like that.
Now you're here.
Oh, I've seen this.
You seen this?
I seen a clip of this. It was a while ago. I don't remember what happened. Play it. Don't worry about it. I thought I remember what happened.
Show me. You are out talk.
No, you
talk a little bit.
What the fuck is
Even though Zogu had fought as low as featherweight and had never even won a professional fight, he made easy work of the bodybuilder.
Easy work, man.
It actually looked like the MMA fighter took it easy on the bodybuilder, throwing mostly body shots. Ultimately, he tapped him out twice in just a couple of minutes, and the bodybuilder, who was totally gassed out, decided enough was enough. Yet, in what totally contradicts this guy's entire Instagram page about him being so strong he can win a fight with...
Are they going bodies?
I think that's what you're saying is hit him in the body a lot, not like in the face. But keep in mind, like if you take a good body shot, like you're going down. You hit him in the liver. So I think that maybe he just wore him out and then he just grappled him.
Oh, okay.
He took it easy on him. He didn't want too much.
I was gonna say because like it looked like they're not even really fighting. It looks like it's
just going bodies.
Yeah. Well, it don't look like they're actually hitting each other. It looked like they're just play fighting. Watch.
With ease, he claimed if he had time to train, he would have been successful.
The only one, because I didn't have time to train. This guy's training his whole life, Still, I said to him, Norma, I need time to practice, train a little bit. But yeah, it's fair game. I said I want to fight. I did it. That's all 2 times. He's good, but I'm better.
He asked for a rematch after he had some time to practice, but that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. The bodybuilder is still mocking MMA fighters on his Instagram to this day, although that fight is out there for the world to see. But if we needed any more proof that muscle won't overcome a trained fighter, let's take a look at what happened when 5-time world's strongest man Mariusz Pudzianowski tried MMA. The Polish man, Mountain, is one of the most successful competitive strongmen in history, but he's also an avid MMA fan and fighter. Due to his sheer size, he actually won his first 2 bouts, albeit against lesser opposition. The first by TKO, but he gassed badly in a second fight, which bear in mind was only 2 rounds. And then somehow, some way, he was signed to fight against the former two-time UFC heavyweight champion Tim Sylvia. We have seen some crazy matchmaking in MMA history, and this one is right up there.
He fought Tim Sylvia like really early on. Like when so he fought Tim Sylvia in his third pro fight and he got the fuck beaten out of him.
Sylvia was on the back end of his career, but he was still the UFC champion just 3 years prior and had over 30 fights to his name compared to Pudzianowski, who barely had 10 minutes under his belt. Early on, Pudzianowski actually had some success with low kicks and was even able to hold Sylvia against the cage.
Będzie powalenie, Mariusz Pudzianowski kontra Tim Sylvia, wysoko pociągnij Mariusz jeszcze tę nogę i obalenie dla Mariusza, bardzo.
It's crazy that Tim Sylvia is a big boy, man. Like,
you're a big boy.
You're a big boy.
But as the fight went on, Mariusz completely gassed out, could hardly land a strike, and ended up tapping the ground and pound.
Pudzianowskiego. Sylvia w tej chwili absolutnie dominuje. Jeszcze jeden low kick. Widział walkę z Kawaguchim.
Bro, he clearly gave up, bro. Like, he clearly, like, it was not even like he was, I think, as just having so much mass, bro, you can't, like, that's the only thing. Like, dude, Tim Sylvia, like, just looking at it, bro, you wouldn't even think
Dude,
Tim Sylvia.
Tim Sylvia is, like, peak performance body.
Yeah.
That's what you want to look like. You want to have some chi-chis, and you want, that's when you know you're ready to kick ass.
Widziałem, że Japończyk kopał i Pudzianowski odczuwał te ciosy. Będzie starał się trzymać ręce rywala, ale wiele pozycja północ-południe na drugą stronę. Znów mamy boczną z drugiej strony i próba dojścia.
Bro, he gave up, bro. He gave up.
Pudzianowski actually dedicated himself to MMA full time and had a pretty decent career in Poland, fighting all the way.
He you can tell he's off the sauce because he was like this, and then like that little clip, he was like
more lean,
not so big.
Bro, he should have got off it off that fight, man.
Into his mid-40s. But even so, his encounter with Tim Sylvia was a stark reminder that strength doesn't equal fighting prowess.
Go to US, fight with Sylvia. Oh, I am crazy. Sylvia, show me first time what is this MMA.
And on the topic of strongmen, here's perhaps the most famous one of all time, Hafthor Bjornsson. We all remember the old clip of Thor having a place spar with Conor McGregor, and while that isn't the story of this video, it's proof he believes his enormous 6'9".
Okay, you see that? That would be Devin Haney and Bradley Martin, right?
Yeah, well, once you got a hold of
Once you got a hold, that's it, bro.
Frame is enough to win a fight. Because after their time together, Hafthor claimed he would have crushed McGregor at will and went nice on him so as to not injure Conor before his fight against Jose Aldo.
There was a time where I had to grab with him, where I felt like, okay, I can crush this guy. But he had a fight against Aldo, I think a week later, so I was like, I better be nice to him because I don't want to like injure him right now. He's about to have the biggest fight of his life right now. It's going to be a huge fight for him. And that fight actually
set him to the moon.
Sat him to the moon, basically. Yeah. So he should thank me and probably pay me a bit to
for not crushing him.
And although we'll never find out what would have happened if Hafthor would have been more aggressive against McGregor, we do know how he fared against BJJ superstar Gordon Ryan. Despite letting Thor start on top, it just took Gordon Ryan a few seconds to reverse the position and end up on top. After that, Ryan gave Thor some tips on how to stay on top, and they went again. But the outcome was actually worse. The BJJ World Champ was able to take Thor down and hold him there like it was nothing.
Made it look easy, man.
Yeah.
Now, I would guess that Thor knew he couldn't out-grapple someone as talented as Gordon Ryan, and he actually admitted that he wanted to learn more.
It was nice, humbling, but at the same time, makes you want to learn more, makes you want to come again, do more, especially like getting to know you too. You guys are amazing human beings, nice, humble.
And then finally, coming out of Romanian promotion RXF, this tattooed up Instagram model stepped in the cage and found out muscle doesn't win fights. We're not exactly sure of the backstory of this fight, only that the tattooed bodybuilder found another gym bro, but it was clear that he had no background in fighting whatsoever. He got rocked within seconds, dominated on the ground, and tapped out to a choke that wasn't even under the chin properly.
Oh hell no,
bro! Like he had one job, bro. Like
dude, if you don't wrestle, you don't do that.
You don't do that, yeah. Like if you're gonna throw somebody, bro, you make sure you lift them, turn to your side, lift them, and throw them to the side. But if you're trying to suplex them forward and you throw them onto yourself, bro, that's just.
You're a Greco-Roman wrestler, so
you gotta understand. I think bodybuilders they just have that feeling of like, oh, you grab somebody, and just freaking toss them, and throw them, you know. But like, and I get that, and I respect that he tried to like suplex him, you know. But bro, like. When you fail like that, it ain't even worth it. Because look at the position he's in now.
Yeah, you put yourself in a terrible position
right now. Like, literally, he's close to being on a crucifix.
Yeah.
Oh, the ground and pound. There it is. But that was more like a squeeze. That wasn't even...
All in all,
like
just goes to show that you can be 300 pounds on steroids with muscles coming out of everywhere, but if you can't fight, you can't fight.
You know who they didn't add in here? It's not a bodybuilder.
Who?
Dave Bautista.
Oh, because he fought. He's kind of like a bodybuilder. That's crazy.
Dave Bautista.
I forgot about Bautista because that's just a fight that people just kind of just mistaken. Like he fought in MMA, you know, and he fought against like a pudgy dude too.
Like a guy that. Most likely not
like
trash
tank.
can.
Look like
tomato
tank.
can.
That's crazy. Much. Yeah, they should have added him on there to be honest.
But I think
he wasn't a trash. But he wasn't trashing the. Like he wasn't a
cocky. I know Dave Bautista being cocky.
Yeah, he fought that one time. I think that was it. I think kind of just like all right, like I'm cool with that.
Yeah, he knew that was a lot, especially coming from a guy that didn't look like he was in shape.
True. Yeah. I mean, the best thing to do is just. If you're a bodybuilder, do not try to
stick to the weights.
Stick to the weights. Stick to the weights.
Know your place, fam.
Know your place, fam.